Hey, how's it going today, guys? So I was up doing pretty good for the week. Then last night I decided, let's test my luck a little bit. I did some math on a player's winnings that has been winning a decent amount. There's basically this guy that has like 40 terahashes. This guy, but he spends a lot of money per game. So I kind of did the math on some of his previous winnings with like times 16 and some different rounds, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna try to basically divide his spells and put it into like a 1x, a 2x. So I put over about 70, 80 tokens into my account, and I ended up just losing it all, honestly. I set it up in my spell bot just to hit the times 1 and times 2 overnight. I basically got rolled into several different rounds, and I literally didn't win a single round. And it's kind of just like what I was saying, where it's just like, it seems like it's not worth boosting here. Because if you do boost, like, I mean, you would have to be boosting, you would literally have to have like maybe 1,000 tokens a day. So the days I was boosting about 60 tokens a day in Dune, I need 10x those tokens at least 10x. So any like 3 token spells, I need to actually be putting 30 tokens in per game. And the problem is it's just like it's a lot of money, and like my miner isn't making that amount of money. And then it's like, so if I take all these losses, like then you're looking at like bringing in real cash, and I don't and I'm just not willing to actually take in uh like put in additional cash. Like that's why I have a big miner. I have a big miner so that like I can use the funds that are within my account. And when I'm on Dune, like I can do that. There's no problem when I'm on Dune with that. Look at that. That guy just won 3,000 tokens. So that's the gambling aspect of this, guys, where it's just like, oh yeah, that could be me, but it could very well not be you. And look at how many boosts he did. Like I am not that kind of whale. I don't have $1,000 a week that I can just gamble like that. And that's kind of like what you need for this. If you have $100 a week, you can gamble, or $50 a week, you can gamble in Dune. You have to like literally like either 10x or 20x your gambling here. So it's like there's a really big difference to me when it comes to this and like the gambling aspect of it, because there is some facts. Like there are like people that do gamble a little bit and do make money, and those people, they know when to stop. They know when to take their earnings and like be like, you know what, I won a little bit, I'm good, I'm gonna wait until the next week or whatever. And especially if they know that, like, let's say they know that the next week they're gonna be going against a bunch of noobs. They're like, oh yeah, well, next week, I'm going to be going against people a lot easier, so maybe I should take some of my winnings and just put it against those people. So that's kind of the way I think about that. And it's sorry, I'm also doing a World of Warcraft dungeon boss right now. But yeah, so that's kind of like the way I think about it, and that's like how I've been successful doing Minor Wars, is that I've just been like conservative. Like I'm not, like I was never throwing like 300 tokens aside in Dune trying to win every single 16x. And like I wasn't like, I had one game in 16x that I luckily won, that I put 13 tokens in, but that wasn't like an average for me. Like I was normally putting like 3 or 4 tokens in. Um so it definitely kind of stinks that I just lost. I lost that 70 tokens that I made this week by gambling it away, basically. And the reality is that like I in reality should have transferred over 700 tokens last night, not 70. So I mean, that's starting to talk about like using hundreds of dollars a day compared to like $10 a day, like, or $20 a day. There's a huge difference there, and like I don't have that kind of money in my account to gamble. And I'm also like not in a situation where I would want to gamble money like that. Like that's just that's a little bit overboard for me. But you know, guys, it's whatever. I'm just not going to be boosting it all anymore in this, and it's just is what it is. I'm just not going to boost when I'm in Horizon League because I don't think I'm going to win. I've won in Dune League. I literally won like 8x's and a bunch of different rounds like that from like doing like 2 token boosts, and it's like here you do a 2 token boost, you have like a 0.01% chance of winning. Like you're basically screwed. So it's like I need to just accept that this week, like right now this week, since I only spent like about 60 tokens last night, I'm technically not going to be at a loss. I'm still going to get a little bit of Bitcoin earnings from it. Like, I'm not going to get a lot of Bitcoin earnings from this so far, but I'm going to get a little bit. And then last week, I did take in like a little over 2x. It should have been 3x, but I got hit a little bit extra hard with my electricity fees because I didn't have token to pay my balance. So I'm kind of thinking in a way where it's like I'm fine with just like kind of not losing more money this week and not having an actual loss this week and just like walking out a little bit in the profit, not crazy profit, but just a little bit in profit and just preparing for Dune. Sadly, we are, Charlie already knows. Sadly, I am going to have to remove Charlie from the team for Dune League and to make sure we de-rank to Dune. He just sadly has too much Terra hashes to join us in Dune. So basically, like, we had really good earnings last week, but those earnings you see there, that's basically his cost of his electricity. So it's just, it's kind of tough because he's really cool, and, it's going to stink to lose somebody, but it's kind of like, I also got to think for, like, the whole clan. Like, there's 12 other people in here, and, we got a bunch of different sizes, and, like, if we go back to Dune, like, we can have some 1,000 terahash miners, but mainly it's going to be 1,000 and below. And then the 1,000, like, we're kind of like the 5,000 people or whatever that are winning all the passive blocks so that the team can get their weekly Bitcoin. Because that's the whole idea is you got to have enough terahashes to win the passive blocks, but you can't have so much that, like, you need to win everything or nobody profits. So, like last week, for instance, we won way more than we had to. We could cut back in half and still get close to double our earnings, but we are going to be cutting down to about 5,000 terahashes less. And I think like going into Dune with like 4,000 something terahashes is actually going to be it's actually going to be pretty good, honestly. It's going to be we're going to win a little bit more passive, so people won't have to boost as much. And the main thing for most people, it's going to be like, yeah, when they hit a block, like that's going to be really good for them. But the other main thing is just going to be them getting those Bitcoin rewards, because if we just get on par or even close, or not even close to where we got last week, everybody that's in here in the clan next week is going to end up making their weekly Bitcoin. So that's like the main thing. But guys, that's gonna be it for today. Like I'm a little bit bummed that I boosted last night. I thought like maybe I could win one. That's the gambling aspect. You're just not gonna always win. So it's kind of a bummer. It really is kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. Like and I didn't lose last week's profits. I want to make that very clear. I did not lose last week's profits at all. I basically spent the Go Mining token that I'm going to be getting next week from this week's profits, and I've just kind of like, it's just a reality check. Like if I was in Dune, I would have won some rounds, and maybe I wouldn't have made that whole 60, 70 tokens back, but I would have made probably half of it back. And I can look at my previous week's earnings and see that, but like in Horizon, man, I just don't have 700 tokens to put down per day. I just don't have that. So it's like, and I'm just not willing to spend like $200-300 a day, like gambling kind of in a game. Maybe in the future. I mean, I'd rather just be in Dune for now. Like, if I was ever at 5, I mean, I would have to be above 5,000 terahashes too, because we're winning some rounds, but we're not winning enough rounds, guys, and even in Horizon. So, like the thing is I have to D-rank to Dune. Basically, the whole team has to D-rank to Dune, or we're not going to be profitable. So that's like, so we are going to be making, we are going to have to make a cut today and get Charlie out of the team at the end of the day at the reset. Then that's going to give us Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. That's going to give us 4 days to D-rank. We're guaranteed to basically get less blocks. So if we just look here, so yeah, like right now we're right here, so we're a little bit above the D ranking status. So once he's out though, like the 7,000, 6,000, 5,000, like a lot of these teams should surpass us in blocks. It stinks, guys. It stinks. I don't want to lose a member, but like it is what it is. We got to D-rank to the lower league so that we can all make our money and do pretty good in Minor Wars like we did last week. Or even if we get 1.5x next week, I'm gonna be happy. But yeah, guys, like, subscribe. If you're not on Go Mining, use my referral. Type in the code. Get an extra 5% Terahash. Peace out, guys.